IM Overseas Headquarters is southward located about 40 kilometers away from Manila, the capital of the Philippines. It is in Don Gregorio Heights subdivision where it looks like calm, rural Korean village. IM International Mission has made the first step in the Philippines in 2013 in order to establish the central base of mission training for mission completion towards all nations. The ministries of IM Overseas Headquarters started with education for Korean students, a local theological school, and ministries for the local church. But now, it is approaching mission completion with an enlarged scale that includes generation-specific ministries, the Philippines local ministries, and ministries for all nations. Then, let's go to see ministries grow in the IM Overseas Headquarters. This is the main center, the heart of the IM Overseas Headquarters. Now, let's see the ministries of the main training center inculcating the core spirit of IM. As the heart of the IM Overseas Headquarters, the main training center inculcates the core spirit of IM in order to train all generations of all nations beyond Korea. And this is the field to foster missionaries for all the world through training all generations. We are providing all generations from teenager to adult with training field and education containing values of Christianity. Full personal education is made for all generations through Holy Trinity System, a common training system of IM. Faith training contains triple school education, devotion education, appropriate devotion life, and serving worship service in order to establish biblical worldview. Personality training contains managing lifestyle, values training, character training, leadership training, responsibility training, and consideration training through community life. Academic training contains worldview lecture, background knowledge, English educations, online course for academic career, and offline course for academic career. Especially, IM does not only provides various English educations based on various needs from basic English to advanced English for studying abroad, but also provides English studying course that IM Overseas Headquarters made and developed by itself, as well as English conversation. Mission training includes visiting mission fields, sharing the gospel in English, and helping local churches through independent students organizations as NGO that helps isolated and poor regions with education, aid, and sharing the gospel. And mission training is made through prayer meetings for all nations, so that the next generation embraces all nations and pray for all nations. IM Overseas Headquarters runs 3 educational institutes based on Holy Trinity System. IEM. IEM educates students to be influential people in the world, carrying Bible on one hand and major books on the other hand. And students in IEM prepare their careers and enters school through the online course of Washington Christian School or through the English integrated course of IM Overseas Headquarters. TCS. TCS provides biblical and student-centered education based on the USA's SOT education system in order to foster not only international leaders equipped with spirituality and ability, but also Christians who love God and neighbors. SOT education system consists of base work, and every subject contains biblical contents as it is creation theory-based education. Into Gen. Into Gen is a youth training course that builds up youth generation to be soldiers of God's kingdom to fulfill the calling of times. Into Gen not only helps the youth generation find the purpose of life, set direction of life, but also establishes viewpoint of calling and worth of Christianity through educations and lectures specialized for youth. And Into Gen builds up the next generation to be youth leaders through community training, mentoring, and serving the mission field. We've seen the realistic ministries fields that struggle to build up global missionaries by inculcating the core spirit of IM through all trained generations. Now, let's go to see another field of ministries of IM Overseas Headquarters. Here is the field of Jesus GDC or Gospel Disciple Calling Camp, a signature ministry of IM. Jesus GDC Camp is a short word for Jesus Gospel Disciple Calling. Then, shall we go to see the camp ministry? Jesus GDC Camp means imitating the life of Jesus like the following. First, realizing the gospel of Jesus whole personally. Second, becoming Jesus' disciple in whole life. Third, fulfilling Jesus' calling in whole direction. Jesus GDC Camp is held by an educational institute under IM Overseas Headquarters. It is a camp to foster Christians equipped with spirituality and ability, and a camp for next generation whose peer changes their peer. Jesus GDC Camp provides a comprehensive training program in the fields of faith, life, academy, mission, in order to foster Christians equipped with spirituality and ability. Jesus GDC Camp inculcates viewpoints of worth, world, and leadership for the next generation in order to foster whole personal, whole life, whole directional Christians. The last schedule of the camp is the sending out ceremony and campfire. Here is the campfire zone where the camp attendees that imitates the life of Jesus are sent. Jesus GDC Camp imitates the life of Jesus. Isn't it interesting? The ministries of IM Overseas Headquarters are not all introduced. Let us go to see the next ministry. This is the place for Theological Seminary of IM Overseas Headquarters. We would like to introduce ANTS, the All Nations Theology School. ANTS was built to send theology students as God's servants for the Philippines and all nations by teaching them the Reformed faith and training them as devoted Christians. We've been fostering local theology students by building up theological school since the beginning of our Philippine ministry in 2013, and we've been continuing evangelism and ministries in order to build up local churches. Theology students do not only take theological lessons based on triple school on weekdays and community training, but also do ministry for local churches on weekend. ANTS hold youth conference and Philippine Jesus GDC or Gospel Disciple Calling Camp in order to build up the Philippine youth as leaders for the next generation. Moreover, ANTS regularly holds CBUP or Church Build-Up Project for pastors in order to firmly establish local churches to be gospel-centered, not only for the Philippines students but also for students of all nations. ANTS will foster the next generations as leaders and send them to all nations. Wow, there are lots of ministries happening in ANTS too. Then shall we all move to the next place? Another important ministry we are going to see next is ONTAC English. ONTAC English is a strategic mission program for education mission through online in the fourth industrial revolution. It is an online English studying program consisting of English conversation with native speakers, English Bible meditation, and English TOEFL studying course. Students from different nations such as South Korea, Cambodia, China, and Kazakhstan are participating in ONTAC English because it is easily accessible to study English simply with computer or smartphone. ONTAC English has been providing opportunities for English study to students who need it, future missionaries preparing for the ministry, and communities that needed an English study program at an affordable price. We've begun a course to train teachers for ONTAC English in India. This course will lay the foundation for independent mission by teaching native people to be English teachers. It is growing into an online mission strategy by applying OnTech English system to other countries. OnTech English will be used as a creative way and a tool to share the gospel. It will be beyond nationality, race, geography, and age through IT that will be used for the great revival and mission in end times. Next, Ministries for All Nations. I Am Overseas Headquarters is a model and a mission center for all nations. This is where to foster and dispatch people from all nations. Recently, Thai team happened to know I Am while praying for revival and the next generation in Thailand. They came to the Philippines to get the incubating training and began to build up community in Thailand. Now, they got vision toward Thailand, building up over 700 Renew-Gen Christian communities in 77 cities and foster over 7,000 missionaries. Coming vision camps, going vision camps, and other camps are held in Thailand. I Am Overseas Headquarters in the Philippines will create and use appropriate mission strategies fitting the features of time and countries by making foreign mission networks and uniting with foreign mission fields. I Am Overseas Headquarters trains every Christian to be a missionary in whole personal, whole life, and whole directional in order to let the kingdom of God come on every ground that we step on in the end times to wait for the second coming of Jesus. We, I Am Overseas Headquarters, evangelize all nations by building up communities, being reminded of the spirit of gospel, disciple, calling, Bible every day, and having them applied into actual life.